Purposes, if you'd record the post-game interview brought to you by Alexander Roloff Services. Head coach Greg Page joining us, and coach, 43-27 victory. This was one of those wild ones. Sum it up for us.
It always seems like it's wild coming down here, and I give credit to our kids. I told them I was proud of them. I also tried to tell them that Saltsburg was a good football team, and they showed that tonight. But we made enough plays to overtake them, get a little bit of a lead, and then made a nice defensive stand.
And face some adversity in this football game. You fall behind on the game's opening possession, then you bounce back and grab a 7-6 lead. But they move right down the field, kind of reminiscent of what they did against United in the final seconds last week. They marched it 95 yards on 7 plays, and Gibbons, that you talked about him, what a great athlete he is on the pregame show. He takes it 55 yards on a 1st and 20 after a holding penalty, and kind of stunned you as the clock hit zeros.
Yeah, he needs to graduate. That's a simple fact.
Only a junior,
I know. Maybe he'll take some credits and go early. But I told you in the pregame, yesterday or today, he's just a good athlete. He makes good decisions. He's fearless. There were times he was running the ball, and he's the one getting the forward surge. When we're trying to tackle him. And Cindric's just a warrior. They got other kids, and they just. The kid puts the ball up there. We made a nice pick on the one by Walbeck, and then we couldn't punch that in. But other than that, he kept the fear in us, I'll tell you that.
27-21 lead at the half. What did you tell your kids?
Well, we felt like we could continue to do the things offensively we were doing. I probably got a little bit more conservative in the second half as far as running the ball, because we had gotten some things through the air in the first half. But I wanted to see, well, number one, if they could stop us, and number two, if they could score on us. And we got up. Logan made a nice play on the first touchdown in the second half. And then we held him when we're moving, and I changed my third down call, I think it was. Or maybe it was
third and 7.
3rd and 7. I changed the call during the timeout. And it's a play that's worked well for us, but the Bartolini kid just read it nice.
Yeah, pick 6, and next thing you know, you have a football game again, and you're also down inside the 1-yard line, and a fumble, late call. From up here, in fairness to the referees, we can't see for sure. We do know by the replay. Our studio engineer, Jim DeCesar, kind of matched things up and said there was definitely a whistle, and but we didn't have video to go along with it. So who knows? But you had to overcome that as well.
It seems like this happens a couple times a year, not just this season, where we get down and we'll have a fumble at the goal line. It's really frustrating. And Logan told me, he goes, I thought my knee was down, but I was still trying to stretch the ball out, and he thought that it either crossed the plane or hit the ground, under his control. Another one of our guys said he thought it was out early. You have to just go by the ref's call. I know me and Mike Lazier were both competing to see if we could talk the refs into what we both wanted, and he won on that one.
Well, maybe you won on the next one, because we thought this one went Homer Center's way on a quarterback keeper by their quarterback Gibbons. We thought he easily had the first down, but maybe his knee was down as well, because you can see it in my book. I marked Gibbons for first down. And then I had to scratch it out and put stopped on 4th and 1.
I thought that I didn't even think there was going to be a measurement. And then when when there was a measurement, I thought, well, I was kind of eyeballing it geometry-wise, and I thought, well, it's not going to be good. And then when they were looking at it, and I'm waiting for our kids to react. Finally, one of them did, pointing our way, and when the ref come up and did this,
yep, no credit card needed.
No credit card needed on that one.
We thought he was to the 18-yard line, to be honest with you, but evidently his knee was down. So you kind of go both ways on back-to-back possessions. But then you made it count. You rode that momentum of that stop, and you started your own 14-yard line. Big pass from Schmidt to Kobe Doherty, sets it up, and Schmidt takes it in. We thought that you were kind of following the Steeler rule for a while. We were on you, Ben quarterback keeper. We thought anybody named Ben can't keep it, but you finally went with it, and Ben took it in.
It wasn't easy. I'm telling you, they don't have many linemen, but the kids they have are tough, and they were walking their linebackers up, which was giving us the off tackle, but it was also tightening things down, and it's one less guy that we have to block. When they do scrape over the top, so it wasn't easy. That's for sure, and. But we grew a little bit in the running game tonight, that's good to see.
Yep, so you win it with that touchdown. You put it away 43-27. Logan Williams back on track tonight. That was good to see. 24 rushes, 156 yards, and the big play, as you already talked about, to start the second half, that at least for a while opened things up.
Him and Ben were warriors running the ball. I mean, we had to go with them. We got the fullback involved a little bit more tonight.
Yep.
I thought Garrett Monk had a couple hard runs, and he's still, he's still nursing a couple things, but he's gutty. He wants to be out there, and I want to give him that opportunity as a senior, and he didn't disappoint.
Ben Schmidt.
Bug Zeiler was another one later in the game. We had a couple carries. We're trying to move the sticks and melt the clock, and for all of 155, 160 pounds, he runs hard.
The interception, pick six aside, Schmidt 110 yards rushing. He throws for 263 yards on a
206.
206. That was Kobe with the 57. But
Yeah.
Ben, as a sophomore, I mentioned, he's already closing in on a record set from 61 to 63 by Steve Wasick, the school's all-time passing leader. I think he's going to get it before he's a senior. If not, you won't have any hair left at all.
Yeah, he
But
should. Yeah.
what a night he had.
Yeah, and again, he's a 10th grader, but some of the runs that he had where he's, lower on the shoulder on guys, and we tried to give him a break on defense tonight for a while. Drew Kaufman has come back from an injury, and he's a smart kid, and we gave him some opportunities back there, so it gave Ben a little bit more time to be fresh.
And the defensive front at times, a big sack by Privish and Tags to kind of seal things off. Coach, next week the defense will be tested again and stretched. The secondary will be tested by good Blairsville passing attack. So if anything, back-to-back games against teams that kind of spread you out a little bit.
Yeah, Devin Burkhardt's a really fine quarterback. He started last year, and Rick runs a good offense. He really does, and those kids, it's very precise. We're going to have to get some things dialed in. We already talked about that as a staff on the field before we even broke out of the huddle, that we need to get some things shored up. Saltsburg gave us some looks that we weren't used to seeing, and that's what they've done that a lot, and that's to their credit. They came out in that one tight bunch set, and it gave us some fits.
Coach, thanks for climbing the steps here at Saltsburg Trojans Stadium after a hard-fought 43-27 victory that moves you back over 500 and helps you in the District 6 standings, so we can start looking that it was a much-needed victory, wasn't it?
It was. The whole way through the program, it just really was.
All right, head coach Greg Page after a Homer Center victory, 43-27. Our First Commonwealth Bank postgame show continues with a look at the stats and the out-of-town scoreboard as we come back to wrap things up on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
So PL and PM are still playing?
Third overtime.
Holy crap.